And I said we would start at noon, and look, we're starting at noon.
Perfect.
I wasn't made a liar today.
Well, I will say, now I'm reading something where like
I said we would start at noon, and look, we're starting. Wait, what?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, head of Republican Party mocks the speaking abilities of Fetterman and Biden. I do hope they keep doing that because that's like,
I mean, yeah,
Sorry.
like you're gonna you're gonna turn some people off. The thing is like conservatives from I think are doubling down on hateful, and I think that honestly, I think there's fatigue. I mean, I know the polls don't look good for us, but
we're gonna lose. I mean, we're gonna lose.
But I want to think that people are lying to these people. Like, look, we didn't think Trump was going to win.
I mean,
everything pointed to Trump not winning, and Trump won. So why can't we get a break like that? Why can't we be in reverse? Like, I mean, like, look, I hear you, but like,
yeah, I mean, it's like the poll. Like, we're all like, oh, after abortion, we're gonna win. Look at the polls. So like the polls were, I don't know.
The economy just had a fucking like the economy just had an uptick. So we went like so.
Yeah, but no one. But it's in 2 weeks. It's not like we feel that in 2 weeks. All anyone is going to talk about is gas prices and
inflation is corporate greed, but no one cares to even talk about that.
Yeah,
they want to think it has to do with fucking politics, and it doesn't. It has the fact that it has everything to do with the fact that we made that George Bush made companies people.
George Bush didn't make companies people.
Isn't that when they made the Supreme Court put it into law?
That was the 1890s.
No.
Yeah, Citizen United is a different thing.
Wasn't it when they were when they said that tomatoes were a vegetable, or when pizza was vegetables? Wasn't it around that time?
I mean, that's a different thing. But
but I'm saying it was around in that time.
No. Corporations were made people in like the 1890s. That's what led to like the fucking Gilded Age and all that shit.
Okay, well,
yeah, but I'm sure tomatoes being tomatoes.
No. I'm saying it all came around that time. Is from what I'm remembering is like, but whatever.
Pizza vegetables. Hold on. Let me look at pizza.
Pizza is a vegetable. That was during Trump, or that was during Bush, second Bush too, right?
Pizza is a vegetable. It's a satirical expression inspired by a spending bill passed by the U.S. Congress in November 2011, which was Obama, which borrows the department.
Oh, that was Obama.
Oh.
Hello, YouTube. So sorry. I was like,
we're just arguing over pizza being a vegetable.
And also, I'm like, and I had an email, and suddenly I just started reading the email like I had all the time in the world, and that I wasn't doing something else. I'm so sorry. Hello, YouTube. We are back again, back again. For another rousing rendition of the Gay Power Half Hour.
Yes, welcome to our YouTube show where we tackle the news of the day, like pizza is a vegetable. Spread it. Tell everyone. Make sure COVID's fake. Pizza's a vegetable.
COVID's fake. Pizza's a vegetable.
Yeah.
And you can't say fat. Okay, I am almost ready. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to get my timer set here. Why do I have anxiety? Like something is not. Why am I?
All the coffee.
That is exactly what it is. I just
breath.
had it.
So I'm having. It's like, yeah, for one, you haven't shut up since we started talking. You haven't taken a breath. Two, it's like that time I gave you half of an Adderall to do the Casey and Tony show.
That was the downhill. That was the recording shoot that they were like, we don't really want to.
Yeah, we're pretty sure Tony's a drug addict. It's like, no.
I had the sweatiest palms out. Yeah, well, you take really strong Adderall. Like that shit I think I took half a pill.
Yeah, half of a pill.
It was, and you take a whole one of those?
Not all the time. Only when I really need to.
There are times when you take all. Listen,
sometimes I gotta focus really bad.
I don't know. You never seem like you're focused. You seem like you're high on amphetamines.
That's not how it works.
What does that mean? Anyway, well, I'm just saying, I thought it calms down the crazies, and you.
I am calm. I'm calm. Look at you. Yeah, you're ready to fucking pounce. Just fucking start scraping the walls. Your walls are dirty. You got to clean them.
Feeling good. I need. All right. Okay. All right. Here, let's go. I'm so out of it that when I did Battle Babies, I was trying to make an Adderall reference, and I said Ritalin. So
old. I just want you to just like you are on a lot of coffee. Just remember to take a breath and let me like have some points.
Oh, you're gonna try to talk today? God damn it!
I know.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
And if it happens, it happens. I get it. You're doing.
Are you ready? Are you ready to see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna go 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet where both hosts are getting all their abortions in the next 2 weeks. With Casey Lai and my aborted brother from another mother.
Hi, I'm Tony Soto, and I'm going to really monitor how much I talk today.
Non-aborted brother, I meant.
I was not aborted. No,
God.
Now here's the question. So, like, my brother, my younger brother, he was a mistake, right? So, like, he was like as a result of like not enough spermicide on the diaphragm or whatever they did.
Ooh, give me all the tea.
Yeah, well, this was relayed to me at one point in my life by my mother, and I was like, that's a lot. But like, did your parents want you? Like, were you? I was the only planned child out of my 2 other siblings. So,
well, it depends on when you ask my mom and what kind of mood she's in. Because sometimes she'll be like, "Oh my God, you are the best. Of course, we wanted you all." And then sometimes she'll be like, "I never wanted kids. It was your father who wanted kids. I wanted a career." So it really just depends on when you catch them, how they feel. But I'm a bundle of joy, and I have been for the last, several decades.
Every time your mom gets a standing ovation on stage now, she's like, I could have had this 30 years.
An award-winning actress. I don't know about awards, but full of accolades. Give it up for Jeanette Talento.
Is there a community theater awards type thing where you're like, this will get me in trouble if I say that the Jeff Awards in Chicago is community theater awards, but because it is not. But like, is there something like, could she be honored?
Yeah,
from her performances?
The last play that she was in a couple of years ago was up for various, like, I don't know if it's like New England Community Theater Awards. It's a thing, and there's a lot of great New England community theater. I mean, in Williamstown, Massachusetts, is a whole famous Shakespeare festival thing, and Providence is
but Shakespeare is fucking, listen, Shakespeare, like, speak right. Okay. Can you just talk right? Like, that's like, and I know, because in my younger generation, we had the Romeo and Juliet with Leo DiCaprio and the Claire Danes. And truthfully, they used the original Shakespearean script, and that was the closest I got to being like, okay, I get it. Like, but every time you see Shakespeare on stage, it's all,
I'm hitherto and other such, archaic nonsense. And it's so hard to follow. I mean, I guess the greatest characters ever written in the English language, but would they just speak the goddamn English language? Jesus.
Yeah. Can you just cut it out with the vowels? Hey, can I go off script real quick?
Sure.
So, for the past 6 weeks, Casey and I have been taking an acting class here in Los Angeles, California, for on camera and film, because we have big plans. We have big plans. And can I just say, we had our last class and we were doing monologues, and Casey has insecurity issues sometimes, especially if he's in front of people. This is going to be a compliment, I promise.
Okay. We'll wait for it.
And so I was watching him do his last scene, and then he was being coached by the teacher, and it was a form of coaching that I don't think that Casey was exactly used to. But can I just tell you that you got to wherever it needed to be, and it was really authentic, and it was just very good. The work that you have to do to get there, though, is going to be exhausting.
Well, I don't disagree with you. One, thank you very much.
Because like
You're talking about when I
he
was
had to be mad.
screaming at that woman? Yes.
Yeah, so when you first did the scene, you did not have the anger that the teacher then gave you to do. And then he used a technique at like yelling at you and making you yell and yell and yell.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that? Because honestly, it was truly effective.
Yeah, I mean, I felt true emotion in that time. Wasn't fully prepared to talk about this now because it was so emotional.
I know. I'm sorry, but
no. It's good. I'm just kidding. It's a lot of things. One, this is how it's going to sound, and I'm going to kind of deflect some of the nice things you're saying by being like, I don't fully know if I want to be an actor.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is because it is completely about getting out of your head. And that's going to be so much work for me to do, to just kind of exist in a space where I wish I could get there. I haven't found the right, drug cocktail to get me there. And I haven't.
Well, you said something very interesting, because you were like, maybe I'm scared of getting to that emotional point. And that I understand, because, I know a lot of actors who are like, oh, just sometimes it's really hard to like, get out of it. And I experienced that. And I'm sure if like, you're like really crushing on stage doing stand up, and like when I'm doing really well at drag, when I'm done and I need to decompress.
Yeah.
But it was one of those situations where, like, I think in LA, especially, a lot of class situations, people are hard up for the money and they'll just take it and they'll deal with you for the 6 weeks.
Sure.
But this was a moment where I was like, oh, I saw actually true work done. But I was like, oh, but she's going to have to work so hard to get there. She's going to be so tired.
No, and true. And you know what? We all know what Casey doesn't love, and that's, hard work. So I don't know. We'll see. But I did, I really enjoyed the class. And also, not that you were fishing, everyone, Tony is very good. Tony was, I was calling, you were the class. We all hated you because you were the class favorite.
Yeah.
She came up prepared. She was willing to take risks. She was willing to mix things up. Sometimes she gets a little snooty when criticism is made.
It took me 3 weeks to start taking notes. It did. Yeah. It took me 3 of the 6 for me to start getting comfortable with the notes and being like, I'm sorry, what?
But we've all agreed that you come a long way, and I think it was the show starter last time. You're capable now of your range is expanding. You're capable of playing closeted homosexuals.
I love that. Yeah. No, that I got a big kick out of that. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Well, anyway, I didn't mean to deflect, but I did want to make a public statement because, I understand that you don't know if it's something you want, but it is something you could do. But, I'm like, you got to harness those demons,
Yeah, that's, there's a lot, but life continues. I'm just acting my way through life and continuing to see where it all goes. There's a lot of hard work in this world just to stay alive and not fucking shoot everyone with a gun with the way that things are going. So do you want to talk about the Nazis in LA, or do you want to talk about the Nazis taking over America? Which local or national? Where do you want to go?
So we're 2 weeks out from the election at this point, the midterms. Mm-hmm. And you're not very hopeful about the situation. I'm trying to hold on to hope that like the Trump situation, the polls are saying something, and I'm hoping they're different. But this country is mad hateful. Like mad hateful. The people. So recently, I think it was last week, on the 405 here in Los Angeles, we had, I'm assuming they're QAnon. I think just everyone is QAnon at this point.
Proud Boys or whatever.
They're the same thing. They're the same. Yeah. But like they were hanging over the 405 and they had a sign that was like, Kanye's right about the Jews. And I'm just like, in Los Angeles? Like, I get this in Orange County. Like that I guess they're just speaking to the choir in Orange County. I guess they have to come up to LA to make news. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if they were, yeah, I'm not sure if they were in Anaheim.
Well, I mean,
That
I
would have
don't,
gotten.
I mean, it's again, it's not that shocking to me. I mean, coming off the heels of the LA City Council tape, we realized that prejudice runs a lot deeper into all of these places than we really wanted to allow ourselves to believe. Everyone's fucking prejudiced, but it's this hateful kind of shit. It is scary anywhere, not just in Los Angeles. It's more jarring, I suppose, because it's in your backyard, and by backyard I mean your freeway, your local freeway.
Yeah, I mean, and the 405 is dreadful. Like, if you're locked up, like that could be gridlock.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that is a little the thing that I just hate about it, it's like, they did it to get news and amplified news. It would just be like a bunch of people on the street fucking seeing, driving by being like, these fucking chuckleheads. But instead it becomes national news, and Kanye's involved in all this shit because they're doing it to get a rise out of people, to put it into the conversation, and then of course we're talking about it. I'm not saying we should be ignoring it, but also the point is I would imagine, to constantly have us be talking about racism and othering and discrimination and all these other things that get us into a super tizzy, which are real things to be in a tizzy about, and not focusing on the things that apparently from the polls most voters down kind of in the middle care about, which is fucking inflation and gas and all that stuff. Not that that's our, and we are shying away
things that no one has control over, but the people who are
but
running the show.
The thing that's annoying to me about it is that while of course the policies are not going to make it better, and Republican policies are at best a hit of cocaine. They might change things for the better for a little bit, but they're going to crash everything really harder in the long run. And that's what always fucking happens. But Democrats see the issue because we happen to be in power during this shitty fucking time where everything in the world is a fucking mess, and we're just holding it to fucking together. And because we ignore it, we allow them to label it as Biden's inflation problem, instead of fucking corporate fucking greed inflation problem, which is what.
Well, also like, it's not just how the messaging is. It's the fact that there is huge chunks of this country where people are literally only getting their messaging from Facebook and conservative outlets. So it's like, when they're not anywhere near the right message, there's no hope in the messaging anyway. And back to the Nazis in LA. They had like a moment like, honk if you agree. And the sad thing is there was a lot of honking going on the 405. And
Agreed.
Regardless of what the honking was about, whether it was like a fuck you honk or a honk, it sends a fucked up message. For if we're talking about optics, if we're talking about, that sends a really shitty message. And so for me, it's just like, the call is coming from inside the house. This country will destroy itself. Like, I don't understand why we are so worried or pressed about people coming from the south of the border, fucking anything else, like what's happening in Russia, or whether or not North Korea can fucking bomb us. That is not our issue, and it will not be the destruction of this country. What will be is the fact that we're getting dumber, and the world is getting scarier, because that's where people are getting. So they're doubling down on their nonsense bullshit religions, and at this point, it's just every man for themselves, and that's scary. It's now in our bubbles. Like, do you think that, what if we made a bunch of liberal signs and went to someplace in bumfuck Tennessee and hung over on their fucking viaducts with our fucking conservative message being like, hey, Biden's been an okay president, and see if we're not shot?
Yeah.
Or fucking, what I mean?
There have been videos of that where like people will hold up like a pro-gay rights sign in the deep south, fucking throw a dart, and you know where I'm talking about. And they're being threatened. People are slowing down, or it was like Black Lives Matter signs. And so like they're like back during the protest days. And yeah, it's a different type of threat. And I but again, it's like the best thing that we can do, the worst thing that we can do to them in a scenario like that is fucking ignore them. Ignore those fucking 12 fucking freaks up on a fucking freeway fucking bridge, because because we're doing exactly what they want by
Well,
amplifying their message.
Let me ask you this then, because on the Tony Soto show, I talked about what's going on in Arizona with the QAnon people who are monitoring the polling places or the drop boxes for the early voting with fully armed, in masks, with their license plates covered, filming and harassing people who are voting early. Like, do we ignore that situation too? Because it all falls in within the same situation. It all is on the verge of it all affects safety. It all affects the destruction of democracy. Like, it's all like and our Constitution allows us to arm these people to be armed and to do this shit.
I mean, that is a different scenario to me because it is affecting people actually voting. You know, like the people on the fucking bridge are just.
But it's the same people.
They're literally trolls on a bridge. No, it's the same people, and of course, and I think, you know, amplifying the voting places is something so people can be prepared for what they're fucking walking into. But if you're shocked at the fact that there are a bunch of fucking anti-Semites everywhere in this country, then you're just waking up.
No. I'm shocked that they're way more present. And that is the thing. I talk about it on this show all the time. Listen, racism was a closeted problem for a long fucking time. It really started rearing its head after Obama. Truthfully, that was when you really, when people were emboldened, when it was okay to like fucking hate someone just for that reason, who was, you know, our leader of the country. So it's like now, you know, it's pockets everywhere. They have worked together in some way, and this is an organized thing, is what I'm saying. And it's way more visible than it has been in a long time. And
it's about and now that Elon Musk is about to unleash the fucking the Kraken again in fucking Twitter and let down, it's gonna be worse again. And get ready for your lives to be terrible, especially if you are consuming every piece of fucking hate that is being put out there in the world and amplifying it to the masses. It's going to be there. And so and it's easier said than done, but also it's like, what choice do we have? And I will say this, and I mean, take this as you're going to fucking take it, but like all of the polls fucking show that all the people in the middle who are actually making a choice between Republicans and Democrats right now care about fucking the economy. And so every time they say something negative about a trans fucking swimmer, and we get fucking livid about it, you know, and we make this the issue, or every time Herschel Walker pays for an abortion and it's all we fucking talk about, you know, then because apparently another woman came up, and this is the latest.
Yeah, no, I heard that.
No, Ralph, the only thing anyone fucking listens to is they've made their choice. They either are going to vote for fucking Herschel Walker or they're not going to. And the abortion thing doesn't fucking matter because they think Warnock kills babies and wants men to play women's sports, you know? And so that's all we fucking yell about.
And truthfully, well, you know, the economy is holding in. This is the thing. It's like
hear that from our side.
And that's a truthful thing. I mean, I hear what you're saying. And it's like you're not even hearing that on liberal news shit, really. It's all because I think the truth of the matter is like what is so basic and exactly what this country is rooted in is like the equality of people. And the fact that that one side makes a person's personhood an issue, like I can see how that is more fiery. I do think that we need to pick our battles a little better. But I don't want to like lessen those battles, but I hear, because like what truthfully it is, it's like the Republicans will probably
look.
And the thing is, listen, it'll look good because Biden's shit will be taking effect a little bit for the first 4 years. It'll look good. And then their shit's going to start happening and it's going to get ruined again. And then the Democrats are going to have to clean it. It's such a vicious cycle.
We'll see. It's going to be terrible because for a couple of reasons. I just want to make this other point.
Tell me why it's going to be terrible.
Well, because if Republicans have power, things get terrible. That's just how it goes, you know?
100%.
But let's take Herschel Walker and John Fetterman. And this is my problem with liberals and Ralph Warnock or Raphael Warnock down in Georgia right now. Everyone is making a big deal. Even the Republican National fucking committee leader, Ronna McDonald or whatever her name is, she is making fun of the way that Biden and Fetterman speak. You know, Fetterman had this debate. It was atrocious. I mean, it just the way it looked, and you know, it's not about being ableist or anything.
I watched clips. It was rough.
From in this day and age where fucking optics mean everything. It was a terrible look for a Democratic candidate to be stumbling through every question. And I get that's we're not taking into account the stroke, but I'm not saying anything other than it just looked bad if you were choosing between two people to vote for, and based on just what was happening on that stage. But Herschel Walker also can't speak good, okay, and he stumbles through everything he says. But Raphael Warnock wasn't talking about how many times he's been hit in the head as a football player, and that he held a fucking gun to because his brain gut was so broken that he's fucking threatened every woman that he's ever fucking been with, and all of these fucking, he makes no sense and no policy sense, and he has no right to be running. But we can't attack people for being fucking dumb, you know, and for fucking.
But you've said it before that we have to be above, and we can't go to their level. So have you changed your mind now? Have we evolved on that? Is it okay to go low, Casey?
No, it's specific. And I you know me, I think it's definitely okay to go low when it's right to go low, and when people deserve to go low and be called out for their fucking bullshit and be called out for what they are.
Yeah, but we've had conversations on this show where I have said that exact thing, and you're like, no, we need to be.
No. You make you just call everyone stupid, and you say, and that's like your messaging. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying very specifically, Herschel Walker is stupid, and that is not what Raphael Warnock is making the campaign about. You know, and he's making it about his abortions. You know, call it about him being fucking stupid and unfit for this fucking job.
You know, but we have different views on the Fetterman and Oz thing, because here's the thing: Oz comes off as a sleazy TV man all through and through. So I think that Fetterman has done a strong enough campaign to prove that like Oz doesn't fucking belong there. So I think the people of Pennsylvania will make the right choice. Now, when it comes to him doing that debate, I think it takes a lot of fucking balls, regardless, to get up on that stage, to have to announce ahead of time that you have a teleprompter because your brain's mushy because you had a stroke 4 months ago, but you're on the mend. And the thing is you were a good politician before that. You went to Harvard. You know what I mean? Like, let him fucking come back. So it happened during a campaign. It's like, I know that you think that he should have stepped down so someone else could have fucking taken the place, but I also understand the reasons for him staying.
The thing that annoys me more is that he hid himself away and how bad it was for months. And so so rather than, and I agree, there was time there.
Trump's doctor came out and said that Trump was the most healthy person in the world, so he fucking lied. So like, why can't he have that?
If Fetterman was spouting really incoherent yet vociferous fucking racism, I'd be like, oh, his brain is broken now to be like Trump's, you know. But he was just trying to make connections about doing good things for the world and sounding like a fucking putz. And I know he has he had a stroke, and it's bad. And I'm sad for him and upset about it, because it feels like we might lose this seat all of a sudden because of this fucking literal act of God. It does sometimes make you think God's against us when he's fucking taking down our best candidates with fucking strokes, so they lose to fucking literally Dr. Oz. His name is based on the Wizard of Oz, and I know, and it's like, that guy was a fucking charlatan. How dumb are we? We don't even remember the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that guy was a liar. He was a fucking liar. He was a snake oil salesman.
Literally.
And see, this is the thing. I am the person who usually is like, the world is stupid, people are stupid, this is stupid. And I'm in this because we're only 2 weeks out. So I'm in this. I'm trying to put myself in. I voted. You know what I mean? I did my duty as a citizen. Yeah. I voted. I have no say in what happens in any of the flyovers full of the dumps. But I did recently get a message in my DMs from a Midwestern person who, and it's all cool because I was like, we're cool. But like at the time must have been heated because must have been listening to something that I was doing, some show where I was talking about them being dumb. And he's like, I just want you to know that not everyone in the Midwest is dumb. And I'm like, oh, no. If you are listening to the Tony Soto Show or the Gay Power Half Hour, then you are not one of the dumbs. Consider yourself not one of the dumbs because you're making the right decision on what you listen to. I'm assuming that you probably, watch PBS NewsHour or something, good news. You know what I mean? Where was I going with that? I don't know. What was I saying? I'm high.
And you had a lot of coffee earlier, which
you told me not. You told me not to talk much, and now I'm just like, I don't. Where was I going?
Anyway,
with that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Were you even listening? You weren't even listening to what I was saying.
I checked out.
This is the problem with this show. Sometimes you're like, you talk so much, and I'm like, well, obviously you're not listening. So why are you even bothered anyway?
Well, yeah, I said I got worried about something that was happening in a couple of hours, and all of a sudden I got in my head for a second. But I was like, Tony will round this out. I'm sure I'll be able to.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sure it was a great point. I'm so sorry to when I go back to listen to this so I can post it.
But it was something about you. It's something about the dumbs, and I.
Yeah. Well, so there, like I'm like, but it's you are not the dumbs if you're listening to this content. But
right.
But you got to amplify your voice louder in the areas that you're at, because if anything, truthfully, you're not safe where you're at. Thank you. We did a full, we found
I like
it.
that. Yeah. You're not safe where you're at. And
but you know what I mean? Like your voices, your liberal voices, your non-dumb voices need to be louder in these areas, because I mean, Tennessee voted that you could fuck kids or something, marry kids or something. Like, don't tell me there's not some non-dumbs in Tennessee and like, if you would recruit more, groom them.
It's about framing, and everyone got excited. We all got excited this summer because in Kansas they the masses came out and coalesced to vote down a very restrictive abortion bill, and we thought, okay, this is how it's all going to be, and we just nationalized the entire fucking thing, and all the Democrats have talked about for the last couple of months is fucking abortion, and
then gas went back up, and
we didn't have anything else to say,
and food's never gone down,
so that is it's about framing, and what they did in Kansas, they got a lot of conservatives on their side by making it about freedom. They talked about how the Republicans, if they are in power, they're going to come and to control the way you think about things. And after all of the COVID restrictions and the government telling people what they had to fucking do with their fucking mouths, so they actually gained a bunch of conservatives by appealing in very specific ways to the way that people think. And if it comes to like gender identity issues and various other identity issues, like they need to be reframed as fucking freedoms instead of you have to do exactly what I say and have to fucking say exactly what I tell you to say, or else I feel uncomfortable. And that is the fucking fact. And therefore you're a fucking monster. That is not how you're going to fucking win any people to your side. And we don't do that well. So when you're saying liberal people in these spaces need to amplify their voices, one, is a scary thing to do. But if you're going to do it, fucking talk to people the way that they can only hear you, which is through their kind of bullshit framing of the world and of America, which is through like, individual rights, gun rights. The government's coming to take away your things. Get the government out of my fucking bodies. And if you're brave enough to fucking do that in certain places that are against you, then I more power to you. I'm not brave enough to go to fucking Alabama and
listen. I have always been a huge proponent, and I've also been very critical of the small town queer who moves to a bubble. I've criticized myself because I'm like, you know what? I always liken my sister, and I don't know her politics. I doubt she has any. Who knows if she even votes? But she is a butch lesbian who has never left my hometown, and she is happy living there. And for what I know, I'm sure she's not. I don't think she's like hated in the town. You know what I mean? So I get that there are queer people who feel safe in their space, and I know how hard it is to be a liberal. We just talked about it. I was like, there's no way we could go over and hang our signs over there. Like, go Biden. But I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know what the solution is. I don't. I think that I don't know what the solution is. I think that we're doomed. I do know that at one point I think that I paused this timer. So I'm sure we are over and done.
Messy.
Messy. I'm sure it's been a half hour. We started at noon, right? We did well.
I think I'll give it a yeah, that feels
well,
right.
I would like to give a shout out to do you want to do the song?
You get a shout. Who gets a shout out? You. Who gets a shout out? You. It's our new segment called Who Gets a Shout Out.
That's
And who is it, Tony?
I want to give a shout out to Gphh1. Gphh1 understood the assignment but got the lesson wrong. I said to leave a comment about Gay Power Half Hour on the iTunes page for us. However, Gphh left a comment about something I said on the Tony Soto show. However, so if you could just also go there and leave something, spread it out. You know what? I some of the people that listen to me are dumb. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, God, no. This is not the shout out, Gphh, that you deserve. I love that the segment is if you leave a comment, we actually one of us criticizes you for doing, honestly, in my opinion, the exact right thing.
Thank you, Gphh, for leaving a comment. Yeah, thank you. I'm always grateful. I'm very, very grateful.
Look, if you want a better Gphh, go to Gphh without a number. He was the original Gphh. Okay, if you need, we get what we deserve, and that's Gphh number 1.
At least we didn't get Gphh_1. You know what I mean? Like that guy.
Seriously,
that guy's an idiot.
That guy. I don't. That's a yeah. You gotta take a little bridge to the number 1. That guy. That's a bad Gphh. I like Gphh 69. He's my favorite Gphh.
Casey, tell people what you're doing this weekend.
You can see me at the Punchline in San Francisco, California, featuring all week long for Carmen Lynch. So funny. And I'll be there on Sunday too at the Sunday Showcase, maybe doing a little character. And then follow me on Instagram, Casey Ley, Ley. If you don't know it by now, die. Or leave a comment and we'll criticize you next week. Tony,
if you like the Gay Power Half Hour, and if you would like to get one of these fabulous shout outs with our new fucking song, I guess, then go to our iTunes page and subscribe, rate the show, leave a comment. It always helps. Be honest. What is happening? What is it's Halloween. What's happening?
Let me just do one real postscript.
Yeah.
We're recording on a Thursday this week after Battle Babies. I've decided we're gonna have to record on Wednesdays. I feel like
I did this for you.
You going out until 3 a.m. is the day before
I
we
was
record.
home by 1:30, you dick. Yeah. All right. I didn't get to sleep till 3 because it takes a minute for her to wind down. She gives a lot. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. Battle Babies is every Wednesday at Stash at 10 p.m. Please come out if you're in the Southern California area, or if you're visiting from out of town. Every Wednesday, please come to Stash and watch Battle Babies. It is a great show. I am the Tony Soto Show on everything, which is Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And we'll be back again next time, this time on a Wednesday. Okay? Bye. Say goodbye.
Bye.